What's your biggest regret? I trusted my gut when everyone else said I was crazy. My sister had been dating this guy for 3 months. Perfect gentleman, brought flowers, opened doors, charmed our parents at Sunday dinners. But something felt off. The way he'd grip her wrist when she laughed too loud. How he'd check her phone when she wasn't looking. How his smile never reached his eyes when he thought no one was watching. Everyone said I was jealous, overprotective. He's good for her. Mom kept saying. You're just not used to sharing her attention. Dad loved how respectful he was. How he asked permission before taking her out. But I knew my sister. She'd been confident, outgoing, always the life of the party since we were kids. The girl who'd stand up to bullies in high school. Who'd backpack through Europe alone at 19. Then she started changing. Stopped calling me every morning like she used to. Missed family dinners with weak excuses about work or feeling sick. When she did show up, she'd wear long sleeves in summer, avoid eye contact, jump when her phone buzzed. The breaking point came at her 26th birthday party. He pulled her aside when she was talking to her old college friend Jake about a job opportunity. I watched him whisper something in her ear, saw her face go pale. Jake left early, confused and hurt. She didn't talk to anyone else the rest of the night. That's when I started following him. First night, I parked outside his apartment and followed him to a bar downtown. Saw him with a blonde woman, maybe early 30s, touching her the same way he touched my sister. Same charming smile, same possessive hand on her back. I took photos from across the room. Second night, different bar across town, different woman. Brunette this time, looked younger. Same routine. Flowers when he arrived, charm throughout dinner, control when she tried to excuse herself to the bathroom. He followed her, waited outside the door. I started documenting everything in a notebook. I dug deeper online with my cousin, who's a private investigator. Found 3 restraining orders from different cities under slightly different names. Michael Stevens in Chicago, Mike Stevens in Detroit, Michael S. in Cleveland. All dismissed when the women changed their minds or moved away suddenly. I found police reports buried in public records. Hospital visits with suspicious injuries. A pattern spanning 5 years across 3 states. The PI found 2 women willing to talk off the record. Same story every time. Charm, isolation, control, escalation. The night I finally worked up courage to confront him, my sister called me crying, but not the tears I expected. She was pregnant. He'd proposed that evening. Wedding was planned for 2 weeks later. Intimate ceremony, he'd insisted. Just immediate family, no time for anyone to object. I had 2 choices. Let her marry a predator or destroy her happiness with accusations she'd never believe. She was so happy on that call, talking about baby names and wedding dresses. She hadn't sounded that excited about anything in months. I chose option 3. I spent the next week building an airtight case. Printed every police report, every hospital record, every testimony I could find. Found the women he'd hurt and convinced 2 of them to write detailed statements. I organized everything chronologically. Created a timeline of his pattern across multiple states. Photos, documents, witness statements, police reports, everything. Laid out like a prosecutor's case file. I even found his real name wasn't Michael Stevens at all, but Marcus Sullivan. The night before the wedding, I left it all on her doorstep in a manila envelope with a note. Trust your instincts. What is your gut telling you about him? Look at the evidence with fresh eyes. She called off the wedding that morning. Turns out she'd been documenting everything too, just afraid to speak up. Screenshots of his controlling texts, photos of bruises she'd hidden with makeup, a secret journal she'd been keeping. She'd been planning to leave, but felt trapped by the pregnancy. He's in prison now serving 8 years. 3 other women came forward after she pressed charges. The trial revealed he'd been running the same con for years, finding vulnerable women, isolating them, controlling them, then disappearing when they got too difficult to manage. My biggest regret? Not trusting my gut sooner. My sister lost 6 months of her life to that monster, but she's free now, raising her daughter surrounded by people who actually love her.